without these stupid glasses. Um, well, let's get right down to it. Most voters think that President Biden will be too old for a second term. Well, I think he was too old for the first term, but uh, things seem to be getting done occasionally. He is moving a little bit away from this woke movement. And I guess he just said and did what it took to get him in there. Don't make him unique, but I wish we could have done better. President Trump always told us the way it was, told us the truth. Now, television program, I watched it quite a few times. Interesting program, Shark Tank. And repeat Shark Tank. Kevin O'Leary calls AOC great at killing jobs, blasts the blue states as uninvestable. That's true. And you remember AOC caused Amazon not to come up here. Been a lot of jobs for her constituency. Of course, maybe with them giving everybody everything, maybe they feel people don't need to work, pay taxes, create jobs, create opportunities. Don't know. I don't think her elevator goes all the way up to the attic. I do think she's quite talented, though. Biden has a new headache. Senator Feinstein and Senator Fetterman are absent. And two senators, figuring they got 49, they need them there for votes. Now, Dianne Feinstein, she's a hard worker. Everybody knows that. You may not agree with her politics. And she's getting up there, like us all. Fetterman had the stroke. Hope he recovers. But I was no fan of his before he had the stroke. In fact, personally, I won't even say anything. He got to the hospital. Now, President Biden's decision to stand with the Republicans and overrule the District of Columbia City Council's overhaul on criminal code. Well, they should. They're getting way out of whack. He may have done it because it was bad news, not good for the people living in Washington, D.C. Another school of thought is that Chicago's Mayor Lightfoot got bounced out of office. 16% is all she got. The first mayor to be booted out of office in 40 years. Excuse me. So he may have read the tea leaves, seen the writing on the wall. And, I think probably in a year and a half, if he runs, you're going to think he's Batman, Superman, all rolled up in one. Since we mentioned D.C., her analogy, I think it was a congresswoman, can't think of her name right now, but she says, we should be able to vote just like any other state. That's true. Only problem is D.C. is not another state. It's a district. It was done that way by our founding fathers. So they do have some voting. Congresswoman, congressman, they can introduce a bill, but they can't actually even vote on a bill. Maybe we should look at it, but it's not a state. It was not intended to be a state. And, if it means that much to you, you can just move right across the line to Washington, to Maryland or Virginia. And little known is when you cross the Woodrow Wilson Bridge from either Virginia or Maryland, within 5 minutes, you go through 3 states. Just the very tip of the Washington, D.C. Extends over the Woodrow Wilson Memorial Bridge. And LaFont, when he designed the city, didn't know anything about bridges going a mile long. Let's see what else. Yeah. Iraq says Iran-backed Shisha military likely massacred unarmed Sunni civilians on February 20th. ISO is not committed to the attack program. Blah, 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 blah. They just cannot live in peace over there. They just, their problems with Israel makes the number one headlines, but they just kill, kill, kill. Okay, 106 Arizona, which I live, which I drove off of for Swift Trucking for many years, and we were down on I-10 or depot on 75th Avenue, but they've the DOT, in conjunction with the state troopers and local police force, 106 vehicles, 135 drivers placed OOS, I guess, out of operation service during Arizona's enforcement. That don't mean they're all unsafe. It just means they don't comply with everything. It's there's things that can go. I had a trailer one day, and you couldn't slide it forward, and I had to stay out of service so I got it fixed because it was overweight. And the position was now Boeing denies the CEO Cowhorn $7 million bonus due to the 777X delay. Well, I wish I got $7 million. I wish when I left Swift I'd got a $200 bonus. But planes are hard to make. They have to go through many tests, and rightfully so. But they'll get their act together. Now, the United States government, U.S. Arms, is backing arms for Taiwan. And there goes my camera off. Give me a second here. Not camera light, it's a motion thing. I'm going to get another one when I get a few bucks. China business, U.S. backs arms for Taiwan despite Beijing's protests. I think we should. If we don't, they're going to go in there. There's going to be another major war. And every time we get more cooks in the kitchen, the closer, and I repeat, closer, and I want you to write this down, we're coming to World War III. You think about this. In 1919, we lost, the world lost right around 20 million people. World War I, that was the finish of it. Second World War, just 20 years later. 20 years later, it was now 50 million, and that count's still going up. Now, if you extend that out for 70 more years with just a simple graph, it means 1.5 billion people could lose if we really had a third world war on the magnitude of the last one. Well, a little bit of good news when it comes to money. Money is not only the root of all evil, it's the root of all bad decisions. But Ford is going to raise production as U.S. auto sales start to recover. So I think there's money out there. There's people are not out of money just yet. There's people still staying home in their basements, not taking a job when it's offered to them. Now, here's another. At least 10 are dead because the killer storms rolling east after slamming the south. Says 10 deaths reported. And their hearts and prayers go out to these poor people. We hope that they will listen to the governors or city officials and heed the warnings and don't think that they can be special and not die. Well, this is the end of this night's news, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please come back. And if you want to see this stuff more in detail and much, much more, go to my blog site, cowboyron.com. I got a new template. It's not doing everything, but it's far more advanced than the other one. More graphics, more pictures, and we'll see you next time. Have a nice weekend. You worked hard and you deserve it.